of states where Republican governors have resisted imposing stay-at-home orders. South Dakota, now home to one of the largest coronavirus clusters anywhere in the U.S. Nearly 450 workers at a pork processing plant in Sioux Falls are sick, and more than 100 people who came into contact with them are now testing positive. The mayor begging the governor to act.
We're growing increasingly concerned about the need to mitigate that spike before it overwhelms our hospitals.
But South Dakota's governor insisting a statewide stay-at-home order wouldn't help.
I should always keep my eye on the ball and make sure that I'm making decisions to actually do good, not make decisions that just make people feel good.
In places like New York, where the curve is flattening, hospitals still admitting 1,600 new COVID patients.
Do you know how many admissions we had yesterday?
At Maimonides Hospital in Brooklyn, the toll is personal.
We found out this morning that we lost another teammate.
President Trump is hoping to reopen parts of the economy on May 1st. But from Dr. Anthony Fauci today, a note of caution.
I think if we are assuming that 2 weeks from now, that all the curves are down, I think that's a bit overly optimistic.
Governors now fighting two battles. One to flatten the curve, the other to plan for the day they can reopen their states. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom envisioning what life might look like when that happens.
You may be having dinner with a waiter wearing gloves, maybe a face mask. Dinner where the menu is disposable.
Governors on the East and West Coast banding together to strategize. But the president, who resisted calls for a national shutdown, now insists he will decide when the country will reopen for business.
I have the ultimate authority. The President of the United States calls the shots.
It prompted a backlash.
He basically declared himself King Trump.
And this morning on Twitter, the president compared the outcry from governors to a mutiny.
The president is clearly spoiling for a fight on this issue. I put my hand out in total partnership and cooperation with the president. If he wants a fight, he's not going to get it from me.
And so let's get to Tom Llamas. He's live on Phoenix Health Hospital in Manhattan tonight. And Tom, I do want to get back to the news I reported at the top there. President Trump speaking moments ago, saying the U.S. is now cutting off funding to the World Health Organization. Of course, this comes right in the middle of the global fight against this pandemic.
That's right, David. He just made the statement, so I want to read his comments to our viewers. He says the U.S. will halt funding while they conduct a review to assess the WHO's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of coronavirus. The president says the WHO opposed travel restrictions from China and other nations. Now, David, they initially did, but this new move comes as the president himself is being criticized for not acting fast enough, for not implementing certain restrictions like social distancing earlier than he did. David?
And as I said, is making world headlines at this hour. Tom Llamas leading us off. Thank you. We continue to ask every night what's next for America. Will there be a second wave of the virus? And tonight, the race to ramp up testing of antibodies to see if we've had exposure to the virus, not knowing if perhaps we have any immunity. The major new trial underway tonight in the state hard hit Michigan. Here's Matt.
Tonight, amid fears of a second wave of the virus, the nation's largest antibody test. 38,000 employees at Beaumont Health Center in Michigan started screening to see who has COVID antibodies and could be immune. The CDC director saying these tests need to be in place ahead of the next spike. Emergency workers getting them in California.
Everyone's concerned that we go over the index of the curve, they're worried about a spike again downstream.
And now emerging a coronavirus possibly striking twice. Okabunli became infected in March. She had mild symptoms and was believed to have made a full recovery. Testing negative about a week ago. But on Monday, she died from COVID-19. In 1918, the Spanish flu first struck in March. It then subsided. Its second wave far more deadly than the first. The pandemic ultimately killing more than 50 million people worldwide.
If we do something stupid, you will see those numbers go right back up tomorrow. Period.
And across the country tonight, an experimental plasma treatment allowing patients who had the virus and recovered to donate their blood. It's now being fast-tracked by the FDA. Randy Spires is in critical condition. His daughter is begging for someone to donate plasma to save him.
I hate to say it's my last hope, but it is our next hope.
there are indications that treatment may work. Jimmy Hayes dropped him off at the hospital on April 2nd.
Yes, PJ.
He's been intubated.
No, Sam, I can't share this video. Yeah.
Thursday, he got the plasma treatment, and on Monday, he was able to give his wife Ashley that thumbs up. His doctors now say he might be taken off the ventilator today. If you could talk to that first donor, what would you say to him?
Because I don't know what to say. Other than thank you. I don't think it expresses enough of how I feel.
So much hope across this country that those treatments will work. Matt joins us from Los Angeles tonight. And Matt, you just spoke with California's governor about any potential second wave of this virus. You asked him about testing and, of course, the tracking and tracing of people to try to keep infections down when we slowly reopen.
That is going to be one of the most important things he told me, David. Now, in the past, when the virus just broke out, he said it was the health department that traced people around the state. For instance, those thousands of people who got on coronavirus-afflicted cruise ships. Now he hopes technology can do the job. Apps that could tell you in a flash alert whether you've been exposed to the virus or if someone should be in isolation. They'll get a flash alert to get back inside and away from the public. David.
Sounds encouraging, but they've got to get this ready and quickly, Matt, as you know. Matt, thank you. There are long lines for food across this country. Growing longer tonight, and real questions after some farmers were
For the long line for food.
Crops, dump milk, unable to deliver to those in need. And so we asked tonight, is there a way to get some of that food to those who need it and to help the farmers too? Here's Steve Osunsami.
Feeding your family has never been so difficult for so many Americans. These are images of the long lines at food banks across the country, the desperation.
So all them the people there at the food bank, they say all of them not stand up too close one to one another.
Yeah.
That them not 6 feet. I be shoulder to shoulder. I see stand up right this a while ago.
Are they still going to get this?
The nation's largest hunger relief group says it expects to feed 17 million more Americans than usual in the next 6 months.
I've never witnessed the system being more strained.
Gilbert Wallace in suburban Houston is out of work as no working.
Yeah, everyone up in Hancock right now, so basically we're screwed. They have one grocery store that saves $1 at a time, that's it.
Because more and more supply chains are shutting down, food is literally dying on the vine. This dairy farm near Cleveland is now forced to pour milk down the drain. Never seen anything.
Go milk go down the drain.
Tomato farmer outside Tampa can only watch as 10 million pounds of tomatoes rot in his fields.
This is a time where we as Americans need to band together.
The stimulus checks from the federal government should help. Opal Foster in suburban D.C. was laid off from a printing company 3 weeks ago. She has a son with special needs and says she needs the money now.
I have not received
You need some of the money too right now. Yeah, one son with extra special needs right there. So.
When the stimulus check is coming, supposedly it's coming sometime this week. Hopefully that's the case.
The Treasury Department says that 80 million people should be getting their money direct deposited into their bank accounts by tomorrow. But people waiting for checks in the mail could need to wait a month. The government has set up this website to track your stimulus money, and it should be live tomorrow too.
There's more from that tomato farmer we've heard from. He's donating 1 million pounds of his ripe tomatoes to food banks across the state of Florida. We're learning of efforts to connect food banks with food growers to help prevent this kind of waste, and we plan to keep on that and share their successes. David?
I know you'll stay on it, Steve. So important to get to the food to the people who need it. Thank you. Overseas tonight, some countries slowly reopening. So what are they seeing? And is it a predictor of what could happen here? And tonight, ABC News inside those wet markets in Wuhan, China. Of course, still of great concern here in the U.S. Here's ABC's Maggie Rulli from
China. Then everything, look at now.
Tonight, small signs Europe is slowly coming back to life. In Spain, commuters heading to work, even buying coffee, as some manufacturing and construction sites reopen. Officials ready to hand out millions of masks. In Italy, where more than 20,000 have died, smaller shops like booksellers and children's clothing stores are back in business. But there are concerning reports that some in Italy are still testing positive after 30 days, well after their symptoms have cleared and their 2-week quarantines are over. That worry about a new wave of infections, something China is seeing with returning nationals far from the epicenter in Wuhan. ABC News has filmed inside one of Wuhan's so-called wet markets, one that stayed open throughout the lockdown to feed the city, but still a source of concern to Western countries about how sanitary they are.
Market nasty, man.
Another Wuhan market was where the virus
All
was
about on the
first
ground
detected
meat
by
show down.
scientists. The U.S. joining other nations asking why these types of markets are allowed to remain open.
And here in the UK, authorities are expected to extend this current lockdown, but it's unclear for exactly how long.
You mean it's open because of them spread the damn virus.
And prepare for some tough times ahead financially. David.
All right, Maggie Rulli live in London. Thank you, Maggie. We're also following the major headline back here at home in the race for 2020 tonight. Former President Barack Obama endorsing Joe Biden in this dark time, he said.
Joe has the character and the experience to guide us through one of our darkest times and heal us through a long recovery.
So let's get to Mary Bruce with us live tonight from Washington. And the former Vice President Joe Biden has said all along, Mary, that he's wanted to earn the nomination on his own.
Now much to say about politics, because I don't vote.
I gather this endorsement is very welcome to
Now nothing to say about politics, because I don't vote.
Big deal, and Joe Biden knows that. Today he thanked his friend, calling him Barack, and posting this picture of the two of them together, saying, "Let's do this." Now, Obama has been largely silent throughout this race, clearly waiting for this process to play out. But behind the scenes, David, we know he has been working the phones, now eager to try and unite the Democratic Party going forward.
All right, Mary Bruce tonight. Mary, thank you. When we come back, your questions and Dr. Jen Ashton, and this question of a second wave of the virus here in the U.S., what Jen has to say about that, and we hear from Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson, tonight on her treatment and the side effects.
Second wave hits.
All right, Dr. Jen with us again tonight. Thank you, Jen. When we come back, Tom Hanks' wife, actress Rita Wilson, revealing the extreme side effects of her coronavirus treatment.
You're clearly someone who takes care of yourself. So when it comes to
that's Jones, Mississippi there. News tonight about actor Tom Hanks' wife, actress Rita Wilson, and her side effects from coronavirus treatment. Wilson says she suffered extreme side effects after being prescribed that anti-malaria drug chloroquine, including nausea and vertigo, adding she was too weak to walk. A reminder of what doctors have been saying, that more research is needed. When we come back tonight, the remarkable moment, the help on the other side of the glass.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Pacific Life.
Doctor who saw someone else in need of help. Tonight, the image that struck us. Irene Ibarra, a housekeeper at Spring Valley Hospital in Las Vegas, among the many all over this country, cleaning patients' rooms, ICUs, all with patients with coronavirus. And in this moment, one of the doctors, Dr. Kevin Sui, saw Irene about to go into one of his patients' rooms to clean. He said, "Let me do it for you." That's Dr. Sui wearing protective gear, cleaning for Irene. The moment captured by one of the nurses.
Oh, I love it.
Tonight, meet Irene.
Hi, David.
Irene telling us she was grateful for the doctor's kindness.
I feel like, doctor, but I said, thank you so much. And he goes, of course, Irene, we love you.
Irene says she is proud to do her job.
All the ICU nurses, doctors, we are family. We're part of the family each other.
And Dr. Sui says we are all in this together.
Take care of the patients was our first and foremost goal, and take care of each other. That's the biggest thing. Help each other out, never above somebody, never below somebody, just right beside them every single step.
We celebrate all of the housekeepers and that doctor.
Alright people, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and tell me if you want more news.
Your concerns are our priority.